If I was to summarize the NESHCo25 conference in 3 emojis, it would be these 3. A basketball, a magnifying glass, and these bricks. Why these emojis? Well, you'll just have to watch this summary to find out. Let's get to it.
Sway Hung.
Hello, I'm Colin Hung, and I've spent the last few days here at the NESHCo25 conference in Springfield, Massachusetts. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite healthcare marketing events to attend. The sessions are great, and I always learn amazing things and new things here at the event. The venue is really unique this year, and the social events were awesome. But most importantly, the people that come to this event are so passionate about healthcare marketing, and everyone is so welcoming and willing to share their knowledge. This event attracts almost 200 attendees, mostly from the New England region, and of course, a host of agencies and solution providers from around the country. I love the size of this event. It's very small and intimate. Now, the opening night reception was held at the Basketball Hall of Fame, which frankly I didn't realize was in Springfield, but I'm thankful it was, because it was really memorable. Everyone was talking about the size of Shaq's basketball shoes and the cool display that was on the top level of the Basketball Hall of Fame, where you could see the wingspan, hand size, and height of various NBA and WNBA stars. All I can say is thank goodness for Muggsy Bogues, because he was about the only one that all of us could go, that person is the same size as we are. Now, the NBA itself and NBA teams do an amazing job of branding, so I think it was actually fitting that NESHCo started off there. I'm not sure what the marketing equivalent of a pick and roll play would be, but if you do, leave a comment down below. Now, after that opening reception, the next day and a half was filled with a great number of panels and educational sessions. And there were 2 themes from NESHCo25 that stuck out to me. First was how search marketing has changed and how provider organizations need to change along with it. Lacey Weichwald from AHA Media Group delivered an excellent session talking about the new realities of search and how organizations should consider focusing less on the top of funnel or tofu content and more on long tail keywords that are closer to the point of decision by a patient. Dale Bertrand, founder and CEO of Fire and Spark, gave a fantastic presentation on how search behavior is changing because of AI. He had this great slide that showed how traditional search goes from a website to email to sales page versus generative AI search, which goes from Google or ChatGPT to mid-funnel content, finally to a sales page. His key message was this: don't expect people to click on your website anymore just based on the content they see. They're going to stay with their AI tool because that tool is giving them the quick answer they need. The only way to earn a click or a visit is when that person gets deeper into their journey and needs more detailed answers or gets closer to taking action. His message: you need to be ready and aware that this is how people are doing search these days. The other key theme here at NESHCo25 was trust. A lot of the speakers here talked about how we as healthcare marketers need to establish trust with our intended audiences. I've always believed that healthcare marketing is about building relationships. Sometimes those relationships are one-on-one, sometimes it's one-to-many, but the foundation of any relationship is trust. And although the presenters here didn't say it explicitly, what I see that's different today versus 5 years ago is that in the old days, healthcare marketers started from a place where there was inherent trust in healthcare. Today, there is an inherent distrust of healthcare. People in general don't trust big pharma or payers, and people now are a bit skeptical when it comes to medical advice. Healthcare marketers need to realize that this shift has happened, and we need to adjust our tone, our content, and even where and how we engage our audiences to acknowledge this distrust. We need to rebuild this foundation of trust brick by brick in order to establish those relationships that we want with patients and the communities we serve. So those are my 2 key takeaways from NESHCo25. What were some of the others? Well, here are some comments from my fellow attendees here.
Hi, I'm David Teitel. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at MIT Health, and I'm also one of the co-chairs of the 2025 NESHCo conference in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm here at the conference right now, and I've been asked the question, why NESHCo, and why am I involved in NESHCo? And the answer is really threefold. The first is that I love the people. I really do. It is a wonderful community of smart, engaged, strategic thinkers that are just nice and wonderful to hang out with, and I've made so many great friends here. The other thing I really like about NESHCo is it's small but mighty. It's a regional conference, but it doesn't feel like a regional conference, and it's a regional group, but it feels like a national group. You have this situation where you've got cutting edge ideas and thought leaders and just industry trailblazers all in one place coming from the New England area, and to learn from these colleagues and to grow and really have these wonderful takeaways. There's nothing quite like it. And the third thing is, again, I think the size of this conference and this community has incredible strengths. It's not so large that you get lost in the mix and you see one person, then you never see them again. You can build real relationships. You can make connections that happen far beyond when you see each other at a conference, that really help throughout your entire career on individual projects. And basically, you create a brain trust through all the people you know at NESHCo. It's really, really wonderful, and it's one of the things that I really value most about working in healthcare is this community.
Hey there, it's Kim Thompson from Connecticut here at NESHCo25 in Springfield. We're having a great time at the MGM, and the opening keynote was MK Haber. They spoke about trust over truth. As healthcare communicators, we can tell the truth, but if we don't have the trust there, then is our message really going to be heard and followed? So that was one of the great takeaways. This is a great conference, and if you missed it, check out all the content summaries from the rest of the attendees.
Hi, I'm Rob Klein with Klein & Partners. I'm live at NESHCo 2025. And it's been an amazing conference so far. I think my favorite session to date has been Emerson with their website redesign. One thing I'm finding about all the sessions here is they're very informative. They're talking about what led them to where they got, and their decision making and the strategy and the examples of what worked and what didn't work. So if you weren't able to attend this year, I absolutely recommend that you come next year, because the sessions are just absolutely top notch.
Hi, I'm Mark Crow. I'm president of 10th Crow Creative, as well as a board member for NESHCo. We were just wrapping up NESHCo 2025 conference, and a couple takeaways I have is, one, there was a focus that kind of ran through a few of the sessions around language, how it can be used in a way that invites people as opposed to pushes them off. Less shoulds, more come on inside. The other thing that, and this is, I'm biased, is a creative agency, but there was a lot of focus this year on the importance of creativeness in the work, and how it can really influence messaging, both design-wise as well as, of course, text-wise. And there were a host of other things, and maybe most importantly was the great time we had connecting with people and seeing people we've seen before and meeting new people.
Hi out there, I'm Emily Wade. I work at MIT Health as the communications manager. I'm really having a blast at NESHCo 2025 this year. First of all, I really been so excited to see so many new attendees. There's been a ton of new people and new faces. I think we're finally getting out of that kind of like pandemic doldrums and really getting people engaged and excited about the organization. But we also just had such an inspiring keynote this morning about really kind of healthcare trust and combating misinformation. And I think that at this time, like learning about that and talking about that and having a safe space to talk about that is just so meaningful and powerful. So I'm really excited to learn more and be here with all my people and hit the lamplighters.
Hey guys, my name is Manny Assemi. I'm a representative of Argus and I'm a first-time attendee at NESHCo. I am here in NESHCo 2025 and I just have to say, as soon as I walked in, everyone here, they were all super welcoming. They all walked up to me to introduce themselves, introduce me to other attendees and members, and overall, it just made networking very easy and actually quite enjoyable. In terms of my takeaway from here, NESHCo, I would like to talk about the breakout session on AI. I was impressed by the discussion on leveraging AI, to not just, not just make automation easier, but to gain deeper insights into our audience and also improve our product and service offerings. So with that being said, I learned a lot at how us at Argus could leverage AI to, just stay ahead in the market. And that was pretty good, yeah.
Hey there, I am Steve Koch from Cast and Hue, and I am here with
Jeff Stebla. I am the president of the NESHCo board and VP of Growth Solutions for Unlock Health.
And we are sitting here on the last day of a fantastic NESHCo conference. And I think the biggest takeaway I had was the collaboration between everybody, the conversations. There's just a ton of great conversations about how we're navigating these uncertain times that we've been hearing about so much. But that's important because we need to work together. We're all learning new things, and when we can share them, which I saw a lot of that going on, it makes all of us more powerful. So that's been a great thing for me. But Jeff, tell me about your experience.
I have two thoughts in terms of takeaways. One, I just really enjoyed the diverse array of curriculum. Like, it was everything from traditional advertising, digital advertising, but then market research and recruitment and all of these different kinds of things that marketing touches and comms touches. So I really liked that. I feel like this conference did a really good job of that. And then the second thing is just the vulnerability of a lot of the presenters. And it really started with our keynote with those nerdy girls. Really set a tone for people to be open and vulnerable and transparent with their challenges. And I think especially in a post-COVID world, that's incredibly inspiring.
Hi, I'm Dan Dunlop. I am president of Jennings Healthcare Marketing. We're based in North Carolina, and we do work for healthcare firms all around the country. And I'm here at NESHCo25. It's been a heck of a conference. I'm exhausted at this point. It's Friday. It's the last morning of the conference. And I just wanted to share, a couple of my takeaways. One takeaway is cliche, but it's so true. For certain conferences like this one at NESHCo, like Sway Health, I'm always struck by the sense of community. And that's really what draws me to these occasions. Certainly there's a lot of learning to take place, some great curriculum, but I love the sense of community. Two of my favorite things that happened at this conference, last night I got to present Jeff Stebla with the Evans Houghton Award, which is like the Lifetime Achievement Award, recognizing his contributions to the field. And it was an incredibly emotional time. I had trouble getting through the presentation, but from all reports it went well. And Jeff got his award at the end of the night, and his wife and his daughter were there. So it was really a beautiful moment and an expression of our community. So that's why I loved it. And I love Jeff. But the other thing I wanted to mention is my favorite presentation, and there were lots of good presentations. I'm just going to single this one out because I'm biased. It was by Emily Wade of MIT Health, and she was telling a rebranding story, how they were rebranded from MIT Medical to MIT Health. And MIT is a very complex organization, as you might imagine. Their stakeholders are very interesting, incredibly brilliant, incredibly well educated, and she and her team team had this challenge of rebranding the organization, and I was fortunate enough to be part of the team that helped with that rebrand, with the strategy. And I loved hearing her presentation. One of the reasons it stands out to me, besides the fact that I worked on the project with her, is the fact that I feel like in this day and age of AI and technology, everything's about health IT, we tend to forget about the fundamentals. And branding is a fundamental, and it will never go away. So having that skill set to be able to go in, work with your stakeholders and your brand constituents, guide them through a rebrand, because it's not just about changing a name or changing a logo, it's about bringing your people along for this and reminding them that you're not abandoning your values. You're still the same organization you always were. And Emily did a great job of telling that story during her presentation here at NESHCo25. So it's been great, and it's been an honor to be here.
A couple of final notes. Jeff Stebla from Unlock Health took home the Evans S. Houghton Award. This award goes to individuals who demonstrate, and I quote, exemplary performance in and significant contributions to the field of healthcare public relations, marketing, and communications. Jeff is a wonderful person and a very accomplished marketer. He is a deserving recipient of this award. It got very dusty in the room when Dan Dunlop delivered the announcements of Jeff's win. In his speech, Dan referenced several quotes from Dean Browell, who was one of the people who nominated Jeff for the award. I'll put a link to some of Dean's comments below. Now, when Jeff was on stage to accept his award, he gave a heartfelt thank you to his wife and daughter who were in the room there with us. There wasn't a dry eye in the audience. Now, what made Jeff's win even more poignant was the fact that he had just lost his brother in the day leading up to NESHCo25. Now, you may be asking, why would Jeff go to a conference when something like this has happened? Well, Jeff told me that he was there because he wanted the distraction. And although I think that's definitely one reason, I think there was another. When tragedy strikes, it is helpful to be around friends and family. And if you know Jeff, he sees the healthcare marketing community, especially those involved in NESHCo, as his extended family. Congratulations, Jeff, on your award. Now, a few final thoughts. Shout out to all the sponsors and exhibitors at NESHCo25. At these smaller conferences, sponsors are critical. Without their support, an event like this would be difficult to pull off. So it was great to have the chance to speak with many of them in the exhibit area, and it was nice to see so many friends one last time during this spring conference season. I'm looking forward to catching up with all of the sponsors and seeing many of you when the fall season kicks off later this year. I really loved the 8-bit arcade theme of NESHCo25. Kudos to Dave Teitel from MIT Health for coming up with that. Shout out to Emily Wade from MIT Health and Steve Koch from Cast and Hue for really embracing that theme in their presentations. Both of them had nice arcade references baked into their slides. Emily, in fact, showed a Mario speed run, something I haven't seen in a long time. It was awesome to watch. Look for my sit-down interview with Emily about the MIT rebrand, and you don't want to miss that interview. The theme perfectly matched the decor of the venue. The MGM Hotel in Springfield, Massachusetts has a retro steampunk theme throughout, and it gave the conference a unique ambiance. From the lobby, to the bars, to the restaurants, to the convention area, it was just fun to be transported to a different time and space. I just want to close by saying thank you to the NESHCo organizers for putting on another fantastic conference. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for next year's event in Burlington, Vermont. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.